Hello, welcome to my living room. I'm starting a little series where I look back on films that I've seen hopefully just once and see how they sit with me now. I do remember seeing Butterfly Effect when I was 14, and it did have a profound, effect on me at that time. So I'm looking forward to rewatching it and seeing what holds up, what hits me emotionally, and what doesn't work for me. I have a pretty neutral stance on Ashton Kutcher. I grew up watching that 70s show, and funnily enough, my ideas of him when I was 14 and my ideas of him now are pretty much the same. I think he's okay. I think he's an okay actor, and I think he knows that he's not the strongest actor, which I can appreciate.
Fine, sis. It means my plan didn't work, and I'm already dead. I might be able to save her.
The opening scene is too much. I think these sound effects are very extreme. I have zero suggestions on how to fix this and make it better. I will say I like that they're setting up the stakes. He has to save someone, and he may die or lose himself trying to do that.
We're gonna be late again. When did you ever care about getting to school on time?
Something I'm really good at is recognizing actors. This woman looks really familiar. I don't know. I can't place her. She kind of reminds me of Marissa Tomei. I know it's not her, so I'm going to look her up because I don't think I can continue watching without doing that. Her name is Melora Walters. She's been in a lot, so good for her.
What is it?
Yesterday I had all the children make drawings of what they wanted to be when they grew up. Most of them made drawings of what their parents did, but this...
I don't understand. Evan did this?
There is one more thing, Mrs. Trayborn, I feel bad even mentioning.
What?
When I asked Evan about the drawing, well, he couldn't remember doing it.
The drawing is very intense, but it kind of pushes me into almost laughing at it because it's so, so much.
You're doing great.
Just tell me he hasn't inherited his father's illness.
That's expository, right? We need that information as viewers to kind of put the pieces together. I think it could have been delivered in a better way versus this line.
Just have him write down everything that he does.
And what will that do?
It could help jog his memory. See if he remembers anything new the next day.
Evan.
So they have a jump scare here, and they're really relying on the levels of sound to kind of shock your whole system. I wish they had been confident in kind of an eerie visual and not using the sound as well. Just because the sound, I don't know, it just pulls me out of it a bit, I guess.
What happened? Honey? What were you doing with that knife? I don't remember.
I feel like they're jumping from 0 to 100 with Evan's violent tendencies and these blackouts. I wish they could have had kind of smaller moments. I get that's a point. I think they're going with how the blackouts are caused by emotional stress. But he's a kid. I'm sure there's a few smaller stressors that would have caused blackouts as well, and those would have been interesting to see. At least just one, maybe.
Thanks, George.
Not a problem.
Eric Stoltz, he's always played a lot of creepy characters. I love Some Kind of Wonderful. He's not a creep in that movie. I'm just saying that I guess he has that face. I don't know, where he was always cast as kind of creepy people.
And you get to be the star.
I thought I was the star.
Hey, what did I tell you? Now, Evan, you have to promise your bestest super duper promise that this will be our little secret.
This really upset me as a 14-year-old. It still does. And I remember it kind of made me feel sick to my stomach. And I think part of that comes from how good the cinematography is. It really puts us in Evan's shoes here. And the kind of blackout and confusion, I think, works really well.
How did I get here?
So we see Tommy twisting the doll head off, really telling us that, you know, he's a blossoming psychopath. I don't know if that's a correct psychological terminology, but it's setting up that he has violent tendencies at the very least. And it's kind of funny. He's like twisting the head off the doll.
Good news is the results are negative. I say the blackouts are stress related.
But he's 7 years old. What kind of stress can a 7-year-old have?
Plenty. Maybe he has severe coping problems about not having a father.
Dad lives here?
Well, not in this wing.
It's okay, I won't bite. You've seen pictures of me, right?
Uh-huh. Mom says I have your smile. In her hair. In her hair.
Poor kid. The first time he meets his dad attacks him. And I remember, since I've seen this movie before, the line of like, he needs to die is important, and that's going to come up throughout the film.
His face to shine upon him, and be gracious unto him, and give him peace.
Let's pull the shit out of something.
It's funny watching this again because some of these images I really remember, like this one with the mailbox that matches the house, and you have this really great dolly zoom here as well.
Here you go, buddy. What? No friggin' way, man. I'm not touching this thing.
Lenny is bullied into being the one that places the dynamite.
What the hell? Come on! Evan, come on, help me get him up. Evan, get your ass back here and help you. Come on, he's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. What's wrong with the boys?
I love this scene transition here. You have the trees that turn into the legs, is that right? The legs of the bystanders, and the tree trunks and the legs are, you know, similar shape. So you kind of transition between the two shots, recognizing similar shapes. And also the camera movement left to right, you know, aids. I think there's a wipe transition in there as well. Very slick. I love stuff like this.
You can pause, rewind, or slow down any details you wish. Understand?
Yes.
Remember, it's only a movie. You're completely safe.
Very hypnotizing scene. I love a good bloody nose. A good cinematic bloody nose.
Someone tell me already what the hell happened with the mailbox?
Don't you ever bring that shit up again.
I'm confused about the casting with the brother in this portion of the film. Previously, the three kids looked about the same age. He actually looked a little bit older to me, like a year or two older. And now he looks a year or two younger than them, which is just a little bit distracting.
It's not your fault. Miss Kagan called Dad and blamed us for what happened to Lenny.
Your dad did that?
I deserve a lot worse.
What are you talking about? What you deserve is a better father and brother. All they do is make you feel like shit. You really have no clue how beautiful you are, do you?
There is a time and place for romance. I don't think this was the time nor the place. You know, she's confiding in some deep, heavy shit, and he tries to turn it romantic, which, I don't know.
What the fuck are you doing?
Buying popcorn, what the fuck are you doing? Whoops.
I can't believe you freaking did that. Why are you always
So are we supposed to believe that that guy thought that the brother was talking to him and that's why he tripped him? The tripping just seems unmotivated. And back to the casting of the brother. He is kind of a small guy, right? And I like that he's undeterred by his small size. He's gonna be a violent, physically aggressive person, and that doesn't have to come in a bigger body.
What are you doing to my dog?
Evan's mom decides they need to move because she suspects Evan has been getting into trouble, the firecracker incident that killed people, her dog going missing, etc.
We are 25 minutes in, and we are seeing Ashton Kutcher for the first time. He looks a little old to be in college. He looks like a 26-year-old man. I am going to check. And I am right. He was 26 at the time of this film came out. That is my other hidden power. I mentioned reading fast. My other one is being relatively good at guessing how old people are. At least in movies. I don't know about real life.
Better than that. 7 years, no blackouts.
Fuck yeah, bro. Let's do this. Come on. Yeah? Get it. Ah, be gentle.
Nice.
Fucking guy. Get the fuck out of my bar.
So, which one of you has the pet worm?
Worms.
I don't have much to say. I like this scene. I like what they do with this character. You know, I like that he kind of breaks some stereotypical molds and they don't go in the direction that they could have gone.
$10 says he eats it off the floor.
Well,
What the fuck, weirdo? Fuck this.
This scene is good.
You want a beer?
Yeah. You got any incense or scented candles or something?
She was looking for candles under the bed. There had to be a better way to get her under the bed to find the journals. Maybe she dropped something.
Tommy was possessed or something. There was a hate in his eyes.
So, Don Juan, you pass out on all your dates? We're gonna guess who's here.
Hey, it's me.
This is perfect casting. I like this actor. He was in a ton of stuff during the 2000s. I'm actually going to find his name because I feel like I should know it. His name is Eldon Henson. And he's been in some, you know, iconic movies. Mighty Ducks comes to mind. The original She's All That, right? He always plays the friend, the side friend role. While I was looking up Eldon, I found some information. Young Evan is played by young Logan Lerman, which totally blew my mind. And I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't recognize him.
Remember that day at the junkyard with the kids? I was just hoping you could help me remember it. I
Couldn't cut the rope.
How's my sweet girl? You need to change, don't you, honey?
I can almost appreciate the filmmakers really sticking by the worst thing that can happen is going to happen. Almost.
Well, when he was your age, almost exactly your age, come to think of it, he said he figured out a way to remember his past. I couldn't tell if they were real memories or just his imagination.
You have no lifeline. You don't belong here.
Extra $5, I'll spit in your face, Mom.
No, really, what's his future?
He has no soul. You were never meant to be.
Before you were born, I was pregnant twice, and they were both stillbirths. And then when I was pregnant with you, I was terrified. I had to expect the worst.
And?
And you came out fine. And ever since then, I've considered you my little miracle baby.
Are you stupid or what, man? Maybe there's a reason you were pressed today. Some pervert had you in your tidy whities.
He's not wrong. Amy in the restaurant. You see what I mean about the writers and directors? The worst possible situation is what's going to happen.
Hey.
Evan. Oh my God, it's been a long time.
Would she even recognize him? Would you recognize these two people? No. Something visual that she could have clocked to recognize it's him. Something as easy as, like, you know, a stupid necklace that he has as a kid and that he wears as an adult. Maybe not that, that's still cliche, but something that's a visual indicator.
How's Tommy?
Well, they kept him in juvie for a few years, but now he's working over at Dale's Auto Body. I emancipated myself at 15.
It's taking a lot of courage.
Not if you remember my dad.
Remember when we were kids and I used to have those blackouts? What happened in the basement?
Look, it was a long time ago. What do you want me to just cry on your shoulder and tell you everything's all better now? You know, if I was so wonderful, Evan, why didn't you call me? Why did you just leave me here to rot?
Oh, she works in a restaurant. She had so much potential, and yeah, that's true, and sure, it's sad, but he could still help her if she was interested in his help.
What'd you say to my sister, motherfucker? Last night she cried on the phone for over an hour to me. She said you came and saw her last night. She fucking killed herself tonight. She's dead. So are you.
So Amy dies, or Kaylee dies, and that's unexpected, and I like unexpected.
Shirt off.
Let's just say you're being closely watched, George. Your other option is to treat Kaylee like, say, like a loving father treats his daughter. Sound okay to you, Papa? Listen close then, fuckbag. You screw this up again, I'll flat out castrate you.
He's kind of thinking like a child. Like, he thinks he'll go back, admonish him, and this will change everything, and this guy will stop being abusive, which it seems unrealistic. Like, we know that's not going to work.
What you need to do is discipline your son Tommy, because the kid is one sadistic pup.
Evan wakes up and he's in a new reality. He and Kaylee are college sweethearts. He's a frat bro. She's a sorority girl. All is well.
Oh my God.
And I knew that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you.
Tommy!
You stay away from us, you sick fuck.
Oh, get this us shit. Like I'd ever lay a hand on my own sister. You're doing real nice for yourself, Evan. You got a nice life.
I hate this whole prison sequence. I was talking to my boyfriend trying to work out why it bothers me so much. And I think because it's really in your face, the kind of the male rape, it's really in your face and it's really dramatized. And he kind of brought up the point that in the 2000s, there were a bunch of movies that kind of were set in the prison, the men's prison setting. You know, you had American History X, Shawshank Redemption. And I just feel like how this movie handles, you know, male rape in prison, it's not nuanced at all, which I think is my main gripe with this whole movie. I think it's very heavy-handed in this kind of setting up these situations, and it's like the worst thing that could happen. This thing's even worse, and it just doesn't. I don't think it's as effective.
You're religious, Carlos.
I think it'd be funny if the cellmate wasn't religious and Evan, you know, saw that tattoo and kind of ran with it.
Believe in that whole bit the Lord works in mysterious ways?
Straight up, man.
I'm out. I need you to watch my hands and face closer. Mommy won't let me see it.
Mrs. Boswell.
With the help of his cellmate, Evan gets his hands on his old journals so he can go back to a moment in his childhood and change it, thus changing his future.
Please, if you've ever trusted me before, trust me on this one.
Cut the rope.
Lenny, no!
Lenny did not understand the assignment at all. And I feel like Evan was very clear with him. So this movie is just frustrating.
I haven't seen results like these before.
Not even with my father?
Well, actually, they didn't have these tests 20 years ago. We compared these to the ones taken last year. We found severe hemorrhaging and massive neural reconstruction.
That's a big circle. He should have just circled the whole brain.
Hey. It's me. When you put that shard in my hand, something big was gonna happen. Did you?
Yeah.
You should be where I am.
What? Where is this logic? Evan gave, you know, very clear instructions and he didn't follow them.
I hope you lets me fall. You okay? Because you look like you went somewhere else there for a second.
Look, Jason, I need some fast answers from you if I'm ever gonna fix what I've done.
I don't like LL's performance in this scene. He sounds like a little kid trying to sound 25.
I was praying this curse would have ended with me.
Yeah, but it didn't. So now I need information to make things right again. And you're the only one that can give it to me.
There is no right. You can't change who people are without destroying who they were.
Who says you can't make things better?
You can't play God, son.
That's the whole message right here.
Don't suppose you're here to sell cookies.
Where can I find your daughter?
Oh God, she's gonna be a sex worker / drug addict. I remember this. And once again, it's so extreme.
Make it fast, I'm expecting someone. I knew you were coming over to clean the stains off the sheets.
Every time I try to help someone, everything just goes to shit.
Don't give up now, Slick. Hell, you've already done so much for me. Why don't you go back in time and save Mrs. Halpern and her baby? And then maybe Lenny wouldn't freak out and ruin my family.
You're on my bed. Get out.
Buddy, I thought it'd be okay, what with you being sick and all.
I'm not gonna say it.
I'm cracking up because they have two comforters. I think this was a convenient way to allow them both to be covered without having to share one comforter and like do the awkward shuffle. So our department just gave them two comforters.
Get the hell back! I'll save you, lady!
God damn it. I thought I told you to get out.
Oh, sorry, man. Did we wake you?
It's cool. It's really cool.
What the fuck is this?
Where are we going?
We're taking you to the hospital, Evan.
No, take me back.
Sorry, your mom would kill me. You take me back, Lenny! You owe me that much.
What are you geeks looking at? Must be nice to be so goddamn perfect, huh?
I hate in movies when they have people be unnecessarily cruel. Like, why would anyone laugh at someone that fell out of a wheelchair?
You still think about us together?
Well, it's crossed my mind from time to time.
And?
Well, a lot of things have crossed my mind, Ev. I mean, I could play out the entire movie of our lives in 1 second. Boom, we fall in love, we get married, we have kids, matching burial plots, the whole thing. Plaid took a lot longer to spit out than to imagine.
Mark?
Yeah. I mean, but that's not how things wound up. I'm with Lenny.
Damn, that seems a little mean. She like took him down this one way. It's like, but that's not the reality.
In this reality, Tommy, Kaylee's brother, is a good guy with questionable fashion choices.
Forgot to put the toaster on the ledge.
Lenny likes Pop-Tarts.
This line took me a second. I was like, what does he mean, toaster? And then I got it. And this line became my favorite in the whole movie because it's delivered in an understated manner, which works really well.
Forgot to put the toaster on the ledge.
Good, kiddo.
What? On cancer. He started chain smoking when I blew myself up.
Come on.
Okay, I have to ask you one last favor.
What?
I need you to be quiet. Today, Mommy is taking me to play with Kaylee and Tommy. I will be there. Oh, that didn't work. Turn it. Turn it. Never wanted to be in the movie anyway.
And I'll tell Child Protective Services about your little kitty porn endeavors.
That's dangerous. You could blow off your hand.
Been there, done that.
Okay, what was he thinking by lighting the sparkler? He was trying to intimidate the dad, but what he was going to throw it? I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
I want my journals, and I want them now. And I know that you got them, and you're gonna give them to me. You're not gonna hide them from me. I want them.
You reminded me of your father. He's always screaming for a photo album, even though he never had one.
Evan uses a home video to go back in time.
And we're back to the scene from the beginning, which means the movie is almost over. If only he could go back to the future to fix everything.
I hate you, and if you ever come near me again, I'll kill you and your whole damn family.
Are Tommy and Kaylee twins? Have they been twins the whole time?
Where's Kaylee? Who's Kaylee? Who's Kaylee? Who's Kaylee? Do you want me to take you to the doctor? No.
They burn the journals because Evan knows he can't keep trying to make things better because he usually just ends up making them worse.
If you weren't aware, IMDb says that the original intended ending was for Evan to go back to the womb when he was in the womb and strangle himself on the umbilical cord. That way he's removing himself from everyone's life, and this would stop him from continuing to interfere with everyone's lives.
Before you were born, I was pregnant 3 times, but they were all stillbirths. I've kind of thought of you as my miracle baby ever since.
Not again!
I couldn't stand my dad, but I knew that if I went to live with my mom, I'd never see again.
Tommy. Oh God. Missed you. I'll never let you miss me again.
Happiness can only be achieved through sacrifice. Like the sacrifices our parents have made for us to be here today.
Okay, so it's all Evan's fault. Yeah, he's just got to remove himself and everyone will have a happy life. That seems totally plausible. But testing audiences hated that ending, which I kind of agree with. I'm a sucker for an ambiguous ending. I'm also a romantic, so in my mind, for sure he turned around and maybe they talked and maybe they met up again. But I think it's very poetic. I love an ambiguous ending where you don't know.
Let me know which ending you preferred.